Hello, my name is Anna Davis. I am in the Communication 101 course, and this is my audience. And this is my camera operator. Okay, I'm going to start my speech now, but this is a very long speech and I am very nervous, so I apologize if I stumble or if I have to read from this because it's just a really long speech that I had trouble memorizing. Okay, we all know the polar bear. We've grown up with it and we love it. As a child, I absolutely loved the polar bear, but now as the years pass by, it's becoming more extinct and very quickly. A probable explanation of this is global warming. The polar bear's habitat is quickly fading away as the ice caps melt. It doesn't have anywhere to go, and they normally die trying to swim, trying to find land. Even though this is a sad fact, it's what's actually happening. Throughout my years of living in Indiana, I have seen a dramatic change in weather. When I was little, the winters used to be very cold. It used to snow a lot. In the summers, it was hot, but it wasn't too hot. But now, summers are drastically hot, and in winters we are receiving little to no snow. This leads me to believe that there is something changing with our weather, and it leads me to believe that it's also because of global warming. I'll be discussing 3 important facts about this issue: an explanation over what global warming is, how it causes a problem in the world, and what we can do to stop this problem. Some may not know exactly what global warming is, so I'll go ahead and discuss it. According to Google's dictionary, global warming is a gradual increase in the overall temperature of the Earth's atmosphere, generally attributed by the greenhouse effect caused by an increase of levels in carbon dioxide, CFCs, and other pollutants. This definition can kind of seem big and confusing, so I'll word it differently so some people can understand it. It is essentially an increase of temperature in the Earth's atmosphere. The burning of fossil fuels and gases are mainly to blame for global warming. It is mainly human-caused, which is why we can prevent it, or actually slow it down, since it's already here. According to the National Wildlife Federation, the atmosphere has warmed by 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit since 1900. This may not seem like much, but it is actually a drastic change in weather. The 10 warmest years on record during 1997 and 2008, according to NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies, were one of the hottest records ever to be set. This is a drastic sign that global warming is happening and the temperatures are really changing. Now that we know the definition and some basic facts about global warming, we can now move on to why it is a problem, not only for humans, but also for Mother Earth. As global warming continues, the sea levels are rising, and according to the National Wildlife Federation, in 2100, global warming could raise the global sea levels to over 3 feet. This will make the coastal areas submerge underwater and make some people move from their homes. This is a picture that I think symbolizes what I was talking about. It's of the ice caps on top and our civilization on the bottom. The ice caps represent how much the sea is melting, or the ice is melting rather, and we only have a little bit amount of time before the water ends up coming up over the earth. Not only does it affect only the water level, it also affects the precipitation level. In some areas of the United States, they are receiving little to no rainfall, while in other areas they are receiving way too much, such as the Northeast. They are receiving more rainfall than normal. Scientists are worried that the Southwest will turn into another Dust Bowl. The Dust Bowl was a time where there was absolutely no rain for a long, long period of time. People had to move from their homes, and farmers couldn't farm, and they had to practically give up on their farming career. This is why it has the name Dust Bowl. And because there was absolutely no rain, so when they had storms, it was only dust storms. This was a terrible part of the U.S. history, not only because of just the drought. It was also a terrible part because no one could feed their families and people had to move from that area. Global warming is also affecting all of the forests drastically. The less amount of rainfall is resulting in more forest fires. Forest fires not only help cause global warming, when they are burned, carbon dioxide is released from the trees. Trees produce oxygen, which is what we need to survive, and the more trees that burn, the more global warming we will have. When a tree is burned, it releases all the carbon dioxide, as I previously said. And forest fires just in the United States alone already release about 80 million tons of carbon into the atmosphere every year, according to the National Wildlife Federation. This is truly a huge amount of carbon dioxide, and we really need to stop that. Also, insects love warm and dry weathers, which is a problem for forests. Many forests are being attacked by much more insects than they were in the past. A perfect example of this is in Western Canada. About 32 million acres have been decimated by a beetle infestation since 1999. The rapid loss of ice in the Arctic is also a very serious issue. The ice's reflection is actually what the scientists are worried about. The sunbeams come down to Earth and the ice normally reflects the sunbeams. But since the ice is melting, all of the sunbeams hit the water. Many would think the water would just reflect as much light as the ice does, but this is a common misconception. The water actually absorbs almost all the light it comes in contact with. This increases the temperature of the water, resulting in more ice melting. This is truly a vicious cycle and it's very hard to break once it starts. Global warming is also affecting floods, hurricanes, and droughts throughout the United States and the Earth. Hurricanes have become stronger by 2 to 13%. They have also become more common than usual. Warmer air can hold more moisture, which causes more precipitation. More precipitation causes heavier rainfall. This is why there has been an increase in the amount of devastating floods, especially in the U.S. alone. Also, our winters seem to be drastically changing. We are receiving less snow, while the snow belt is receiving way more snow than they previously had received. Spring is coming days earlier than it should, and most are receiving little to no snow in most of the United States. Evaporation is also caused by global warming, affected, which can cause severe droughts. These droughts especially affect wildlife, but can also affect the water supply. The question is, what can we do to actually stop or help prevent global warming? According to the Environmental Defense Fund, humans are the main cause for global warming. If we can cut back on the amount of greenhouse gases, we will be able to reduce global warming drastically. The sun and the Earth's reflectivity are also a big part of global warming. According to the Campaign of Earth, a successful way to help reduce greenhouse gases is to support renewable energy. A prime example of renewable energy are windmills. These windmills do not produce gases and they produce all the energy that we need. Another simple method to reduce global warming is just taking a bike or walking somewhere so you don't have to use fuel. This not only helps your budget, but it will also benefit the Earth. Hopefully now you know a little bit more about global warming and how to prevent it. Global warming is a serious issue that everyone around the world is affected by. We can just solve it by going green and helping the Earth. Many people are already seeing these issues and starting to go green. Next time you want to go to a friend's house and it's only a 5 or 10 minute drive, try walking instead. Not only your wallet will thank you, but also Earth.